Putters are getting more and more expensive, especially with the zero torque options we have on the market right now. We're seeing putters that are quite often $400, $500, $600, sometimes $700 if you fully customize them. Well, on today's video, I've got something that is a lot more budget friendly from a maker that has some pretty incredible technology. This is for you golfers that still want a premium putter at a really fantastic price. We're taking a look at the Carlsbad M1 putter from Evnroll. Here is your closer look at the Carlsbad M1, a sleek, stealthy look to this, and you've got one big white stripe that runs from front to back. This is kind of a fang tooth design meets a mallet where you've got the connection there towards the rear. It's a looker, I think. Now you can see it's got a gentle reverse slant there to the neck, which is going to give you full view of the ball. That's really nice. The face on this Evnroll is as special as even their more expensive models. They call this sweet face technology, which does two things. The first is what they call zero ball dispersion, meaning if you hit it slightly off center, it's going to try to orient back on the line of the putt. Very interesting in theory. Of course, you got to put stuff like that to the test, but it's interesting. One thing that Evnroll is known for, and is also included in this putter too, though, is called Evnroll distance, where if you hit it towards the toe and towards the heel, theoretically, you're going to get the same distance out of a center strike with this putter. We will actually put that to the test on course here. Now at the back, you've got some weighting there towards the toe and towards the heel. I've been fooled before, but to me, it looks like a graphite shaft. We've seen some painted steel shafts. This is actually, I'm pretty sure, a graphite shaft, which makes it a nice light shaft, which again, kind of brings the center of gravity down and gives you the ability to just take more of a pendulum-like swing and take some of the torque out of the putt. It's not a zero torque putter, of course, but having a lightweight shaft is often very good because it provides stability. I've got this one at 35 inches. The grip is really nice, high quality Evnroll grip, a thicker grip, straight grip. I really like that. I think they do a great job at Evnroll out of the gates, providing a nice premium style grip. Very good looking putter by eye. Let's see what it does there on course. So one caveat here with the Carlsbad line is this is not an adjustable putter. So it's going to come with a stock lie angle, stock neck options, and really no customizability. But again, this putter's at a price point. I think they've done a really good job with this package. The first thing I like to start out when I take out any putter, just to get the feel for it. So we're going to just take like a medium length putt, something in the maybe 12-foot range here, and just see how this thing rolls and how we get used to the feel, sound, and looks of this thing. Nice feel coming off of it, and first one is in. That always bodes well for a new putter. Looking down at this one, you got a bit of a mini slant neck look to it, so it kind of gives you a forward press. And we just missed that one, but speed was dead on again. I do like the feel coming off the face of this one. That's 2 out of 3, we'll take that. But it's got the right amount of balance between having a lot of pop and being too muted. It's right there in between, which I really like. And again, I like to show that bell curve. I would say this one leans a little bit right of center towards a little bit more pop, which is good, and that generally bodes well for especially short putts, which that's going to be a critical test here for us today. So far so good, but the first true test here is going to be the long putt test. Let's do that now. Now, the one place where I really do feel like the traditional putters do better than their zero torque counterparts is in these long putts, where you can really start to develop a feel for this putter, especially lab options that are an aluminum frame. It's just very difficult for people to adjust to that. I do think Bettinardi has done a better job with their zero torque putters in terms of the feel department, coming out of the gates at least, and the new Oz 1 from Lab is also a much better feeling zero torque option. But all in all, I would probably say that the traditional styles seem to perform better in this test overall if you've watched these videos. So let's see how the Carlsbad does here from long distance. We're going to be going uphill. It should generally be swinging pretty much right to left here, and we're going to have about, I'd say at least 50 feet here heading up the hill. Now, one place the zero torque putters do have an advantage is on a big swing like this, a big arcing swing. I have noticed that they do keep the putter on line much better. So I want to make sure that I'm not twisting around too much. I'm gonna have to be a little bit more cognizant of my stroke, but speed-wise, generally a little bit more confident with these. Let's see if we nailed it right out of the gates. Pretty good. I'd say that's within 2-putt territory. I do need to give it a little bit more gas coming up this hill. The line was good there as well. That one is past the hole, which you want to do on a birdie putt, and it's still, again, I'd say that's fairly good lag putt. Can still improve on that though, somewhere in between the speed there of those two. But what I do think I was able to do there is really nail the line 3 times in a row, so my fears were kind of quelled there in terms of that face twisting at impact. All 3 of these are very makeable. This one's a little bit further, I guess, but let's see if we can put them away. All right, the hardest part is done. Now, this isn't the official short putt test. We'll be getting to that real soon, but again, I do like to just get an early idea of how these putters perform. In these situations, you really got to make them. These are the putts where the money's made or lost. 2 for 2 there. And 3 for 3. Nice and stable through the stroke. Again, I kind of decelled. I don't know if you saw that stroke, but I decelerated a little bit, but still enough pop off this one that got it to the hole, which again bodes well. So the next thing I want to test here is this sweet face technology that Evnroll says is built into this Carlsbad. This is technology that's built into all their putters, even their more expensive putters that go for $400 or $500. What this technology aims to do is really what all good putters aim to do, to get toe strikes and heel strikes to travel as far as middle contact on the putter. Let's put it to work here and see if the Carlsbad M1 gets it right. I'm going to try to hit one right onto the center, then right onto the toe, and then right onto the heel with the same amount of speed. Let's see what we get. This one's gonna be onto the center. Bam! Now we're gonna go to the heel. And yeah, that was pretty darn good there. And that was pretty darn good as well. On this one, I'm just going off the toe only. So from what I can tell, the M1 does an excellent job with those toe strikes and those heel strikes. And it seems like I got very consistent distance out of those putts. Sometimes the direction wasn't there, but the distance sure was. So the greens here today are pretty sanded, and I want to get a close-up of this so you can see this. Very deep grooves here with the Sweet Face technology, and then having that insert around the edge really attracts a lot of debris. So we're gonna brush that out of there and keep it clean for this next test. So that's just something you got to think about here with the Carlsbad, and any putter really that has a deep outside insert like that that's inset, is to really make sure you clean it very well. All right, so critical test here is the short putt test. We've already got a little bit of a taste of what this one can do on those long putts. We made 3 for 3, but what we're gonna do here is set up 7 balls in a circle. We're on a little bit of an incline here, which is great because we're gonna get some different breaking putts. Some will be uphill, some will be downhill, some will be left, some will be breaking right. And we'll see from the money-making distance how this one performs. I think it's gonna be really good. So far, I am really enjoying this one. There aren't too many putters at this price point. It's kind of that in-between, almost no man's land in a way, where your budget shoppers are often looking at putters that are maybe in the $100 to $150 range, and then you've got the folks who don't mind spending $400 or $500 for a real piece of putting technology that they think is going to help them. But so far, this one's performing almost as good as some of those really expensive ones. Let's see how we do here. Nothing but net there. This one's more of a flat putt. Again, a little right to left movement. And I was a little hesitant, but that putter still got through the stroke there. Now this one's downhill, so I gotta take a little pace off. Still moving a little right to left though. Gotta control my pace, and I did. Now things are gonna change a little bit. This is straighter to maybe just a little left or right. Well, I think I hit my line. It just didn't break like I thought. Again, a flatter putt here. Side door, we'll take it. This one is definitely moving left to right a bit. That's a good one. And we're gonna finish going uphill, fairly straight putt. Did I hit it? I did. Again, a little tentative there on a couple of those strokes, but the putter still got through, which is really nice. I think that did very well for the short putt test. The one I missed there was definitely one that I hit my line. It just didn't break the way I thought. So really happy with the results. So we're gonna go to a critical distance for amateurs that they have to improve upon. It's the 8-foot putt range. Pros make this about 50% of the time. Amateurs make it more like 33% of the time. And high handicappers only about a quarter of the time. So this is one that you've got to improve on, and let's see if this putter can make us better from this distance. We've seen it with the zero torque putters do very, very well, but let's see if we can dial this one in from 8 feet as well. We're gonna set up 3 stations here, take 2 putts each from 8 feet, and see how the Carlsbad M1 performs. This one breaking a little right to left. Pretty good sweep, I think. Yeah, I need to give it some more. I probably didn't get the line right there, but now that I know the line, let's see if we can hit it. That's the key. Okay, well, I didn't. This one's gonna be a straighter putt here uphill. Again, gotta really make sure to keep that face clean. Picks up a lot of debris. There we go. And again, knowing the line, let's just make sure we can hit it again. All right, 2 for 2 there. So we got our average back, thankfully. Now, again, that's the spot where high handicappers can convert, but let's see if we can improve on that and maybe get closer to that tour average of 50%. We got to make at least one of these 2 in order to do that. This one's breaking a little left to right, I think. And we did. Also, I will say I hit that a little more towards the toe, and I still got the distance there, which confirms what I saw earlier in that test. And we're 4 out of 6. So after a rocky start, we got it together here. And I do think that I was hitting the lines. I probably just, again, missed the line on those first 2 putts. So big fan of the way this one performed. I really do think you're getting a lot of value for the money here at $249 retail. You're getting all that sweet Evnroll technology on a budget. I think this one performed excellently for me. Now, one more thing you got to consider though, is that I really loved how stable this one was through the stroke. Having that weight there towards the toe and towards the heel helped. But one thing you've got to remember when you're looking at any putters, you've got to match the toe hang to your putter style. Now for me, I generally take it pretty much straight back, straight through. And for that, you generally want a faced balanced putter. And if you were to balance a putter, a face balanced putter would be sticking straight up in the air. Well, a lot of blade putters are like this, kind of at a 45-degree angle. They call that a 45-degree toe hang. And if you've got a more arcing stroke, that's gonna be better for you. This one's actually right in between, which I guess is maybe the sweet spot for the most amount of golfers, because it could suit you golfers that take it straight through and you golfers that have a little bit more of an arc. But make sure that when you are testing putters, you think about toe hang and what works for you, and maybe even get fitted for the right putter for you. It would be nice to have some adjustability, but there's gonna be some trade-offs with a budget product. All in all, Evnroll's done an incredible job here with the Carlsbad M1. I'm a big fan. I really think they've built a winner. If you're continuing your Evnroll journey, you want to explore more of what they're doing at Evnroll, I've got 2 videos right here. This is their zero torque option, and this is their a bit more expensive V series. I took a look at the V12 here. Another great option from Evnroll. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hit subscribe, and we'll catch you back here next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.